Let me see if this helps with the lighting at all. Not too terribly much, does it? Oh, that's in my eyes. In my eyes. Now, I'm sorry. What are you gonna do? It's like I haven't got my lighting figured out yet. That's a little bit better, but not much. Oh, let me see here. Slightly different position, isn't it? Now, it's bandana time. Why? Because I've been wearing a toque, because it's been so cold, and my hair is just that odd length, and it's like, so needless to say, it's bandana time. Oh man, I tell you, I don't know if anybody's going to show up because I have not done a live stream in a while. Why have I not been doing live streams? And I just really do not know why. The lighting is so bad in here. I know why, because this wall is so dark, probably. And this is, this right here, this is a flannel sheet that I brad nailed in front of um, the French doors that we have here that go outside. Why? Because it's drafty. Because these doors were not meant to be exposed to the outside elements for this long. Yeah. So I put this up here. It's rather attractive. Okay. And when I get the back porch built, that will come down. But I'm not sure when the back porch will be built. He told me hopefully in January, and it is now January 15th, halfway through. And he said that the rainy weather has set them back. Boy, I tell you, that lighting is really bad, isn't it? I don't think there's any way. Ooh, that's not so bad, but the light's right in my eyes, and is that a little bit? That's not too bad. Okay, you see my clamps hanging here, and I got tools up here, and I got tools on the floor, and I got tools behind me, and tools over there. It's like tools all over the place, I'll tell you. But I'm trying to. I think my chair slipped down. I think I need to adjust it. I'm always fidgeting, aren't I? Anyway, so there's not been a whole lot going on because the weather has been either rainy or bitter cold. It was cold yesterday, and it was miserable muddy. And how do I know it was miserable muddy? Because I took a fall in the mud. Yeah, that's always fun. Hey, if I don't take a few dives into the mud at least twice during the winter, then I'm not doing it right. So, needless to say, I got 2 dives into the mud so far this winter, so I'm good. Hopefully, that'll be the end of it. Uh, the hillsides get a little bit slippery when it's um, muddy, wet, miserable weather. So, but I've just been, haven't been doing a whole lot, making some plans, um, getting a few things in, um, cutting a tree down. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you saw the video where I cut the cherry tree down and I managed not to kill myself. That's always good. Um, that was fun. Uh, Still got more to cut up on it, but it's just been mucky. And if it's slippery, I'm sorry, I'm not messing with the chainsaw. As it is, I come too close to just say I'm glad it was an electric chainsaw because I took a fall when I was trimming it up, and I come 2 inches from my face to the blade of the saw. And thankfully, I had dropped the saw, it wasn't running. So, um, but that was like, I'm so glad that that was not a gas powered one, which might still have been running. But, so yeah, I guess that's one of the dangers. I guess maybe I'll just stick with the battery powered chainsaws for now, you know. Um, and so anyway, the main trunk of that cherry tree is still sitting out there. Um, if it dries up, we'll take an attempt. Somebody had offered to see if he can come and cut it up for me. We'll see, because it's sitting precariously on that hillside, and I mean I might be able to manage it. I threw some ideas at him, and he said it might work. So, we'll see if he does it or if I do it. We'll see. Um, like I said to him, it's not going anywhere. It's sitting there, and we'll see what happens. Um, when people are busy and they got their own things they're dealing with, I don't hold them to anything. Okay. Um, but anyway, let me see here. Um, the chickens are laying more right now. We're now getting about 6 or 7 eggs a day, um, roughly, and that's good. Because I have felt so bad with people having to deal with the availability of eggs. But there were eggs in the dollar store today when we were there, and the interesting thing is that there was no price for them. So I'm wondering how much the eggs were. I have no idea. I was going to ask, but I forgot. So, and we'll be going grocery shopping this week. Um, and I'll see what the price of eggs are there. Um, so I've been just puttering around here, making sure all the goats have hay, um, and Honey has got hay, and they're really going through the round bale. I'll tell you that much. Um, I had him deliver a round bale. I think it was Wednesday, and it's already half gone between Honey and the goats chowing down. And I put hay out in the wagon for the goats every morning, especially when it's cold. I put a little bit extra out there this morning, actually, and they were just devouring it, um, including Paul. Um, yeah, Paul is doing very well. He has he's part of the herd now. He's been pretty much accepted, but taken the new he's taken the bottom seat from Mumu. Mumu was the bottom of the herd. Now I think he's the bottom of the herd. Um, but he does like to hang with Lily. I've noticed. Um, if Lily's at the round bale, he's at the round bale. Um, and if Lily's at the wagon, he's at the wagon. Um, on occasion, you'll see them separated, but I do notice that he seems to like hanging with Lily. Of course, she's more his age. So I think that's probably part of it. Um, he's doing pretty good with Billy. They have not gotten into any kind of a major to do with horns or anything like that. Paul, I think, realizes that he is just a youngin, and he's not big enough to challenge Billy yet. So there's not been any kind of skirmish there at all. Um, Billy hasn't really even tried to do anything with him. I think maybe he just gives him a look if he's, gets a little bit too precocious. But no, there hasn't been anything. Paul's been respecting Billy's space, and Billy has been accepting him. The boys spend the night in the goat barn, and the girls are in the run in that I blocked off from the wind. And the last couple nights they've had a heat lamp on because it's just been a little bit chilly. So I gave them a heat lamp, just one, not two, like I did during the deep freeze. And so they seem to be doing okay. Mama seems a little bit out of sorts, though. Mama keeps walking back towards the goat barn when I've been having them in the run-in since the deep freeze. So she should be in that habit now, but I guess old habits are hard to die. Um, but I had the boys in the goat barn until I can get the buck barn um, gussied up um, and the pen expanded. I keep hoping I can get that done pretty soon. It's just the weather is what's messing me up. And of course, with the warmer weather, hopefully I will be able to get the water going in the kitchen. Um, Once the walls are almost done. Like I said, I just got a couple of things up near the ceiling that I need to do that I just haven't gotten to. Um, because I didn't want to use the saw in the house, and it with the rainy weather and then the cold weather, it wasn't conducive. And I was just mainly with the cold weather being in the major focus was firewood. So and that's pretty important when it's cold out, So that's what my focus was on was firewood. Um, but I have been doing a little bit of shopping online, and I found um, replacement tarp for those peaked shelters. Um, Now, as you know, I had two shelters, and they were both destroyed by wind. Okay, the one is in worse shape than the other, and I've been gradually working on getting them taken apart and torn down. And what I think I'm going to do is once I get my new workshop shed built and put together, is I think I'm going to take one of those frames and put it in front of the shed, so there's a sheltered area, outside the shed, where if I need to get some work done, I can work there in the shade, or you know, if it's rainy, I'll have that protection. So um, that is what I'm thinking about doing. The replacement tarp is like $75, I think. I say, I think I can handle that. So I think that's what I want to do. But of course, I got to get the shed built first, and I got to get the wood for the floor first. Hopefully, we can do that in a couple of weeks. We'll get the lumber and so I can get started on getting that built. It's been sitting there in the box, haven't done anything with it. Um, so now I did got the burn barrel done. I think I already mentioned that, and I also got the trash bin done. Now, what I didn't show, I tried to do a short about the trash bin, but for some odd reason, I don't know if it was a glitch on my phone or YouTube was having issues that day or something, and I haven't tried to do it again, but it wouldn't do it. So that short didn't get done. But what I did is I drilled holes in the bottom because I don't want it holding water, and the valve is open um, for the very same reason. I don't want it holding water, and it does have a bit of a slant, so there shouldn't be any issues with standing water in it. Hopefully. Now, what I didn't account for was snow. So right now, my trash bags have snow on them. Well, they might be melted now because it's warmed up some. But anyway, so the trash bin is done. I may take the cover that I cut off and maybe make something like a lid to put over top, do like a hinge kind of thing. I don't know. I'll take a look at it. It's just sitting there out there. So if I do that, then that'll help keep things out of from top, especially snow. Because I don't really want snow in there, even though it does melt. But when it's really cold, the snow's not going to melt. So, and what else did you? Also, you saw on one of my videos, I posted a video of getting my sap buckets for tapping maple trees. I've got, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4, I think, in the immediate area. That's pretty handy. I've got at least one on the drive. I don't remember if there's a second one or not. I got to look again. And I think I got 2 over here to the side of the cabin. And I only got 3 buckets. So I'll concentrate on the ones that are closest to the cabin. I got to get the spiles yet. And I've got them on my wish list, not my public wish list. I got it on my private wish list. I need to re-edit the public wish list. I think I did take some stuff off of it. I don't know. But yeah. But my private one, I've got things just so I remember that, okay, I want to order these things. So I got some spiles on that wish list, and I've got the tarp on the wish list. I don't know if I get it this month. I might wait and get that next month. Because there's no hurry on that. I got to get the frame down and moved anyway, and I want to make sure it's good and secure in the ground. So, that's going to be a little bit before I get the tarp. And the tarp comes with the bungees that fasten it to the frame. So I figured, well, if it's the tarp and the bungees, that might be okay. And I want to make sure I get the measurements right too. Oh, hi, Heavens Bound Homestead. That's what I want to look into. SAP, yeah. It looks like February is going to be good weather for it. There's a lot of below freezing nights and above freezing days. So if it holds true, we might actually get some. The only thing I'm worried about is that we have that warm spell before it goes into that. So I don't know if that's going to affect the sap production or not. I don't know. I know nothing about how it works. I know you've got to drill a hole in the tree a certain size, and then you tap the spile in there, and the sap runs out into the bucket, and then you got to boil it down. So what I'm going to do, since I now have a burn barrel, I got some cinder blocks that I use to burn my trash in over here. I think I'm going to take those cinder blocks and try and make like a some place outside to boil down the sap. But I don't know if I should invest the money in a stainless steel rectangular pan or not. To have them, they're not cheap. I'm wondering if I can just get away with using an aluminum foil pan to make some heavier duty ones. I don't know. I might be able to. So that's what I'm toying with as to whether or not to use just an aluminum foil pan or to invest in stainless steel. So I don't know how it would work. But I got time yet. Oh, hi, Mark. How you doing? Were your ears burning? I was talking about you earlier. Let me see here. So the sap buckets, I only got the 3. We're not talking major maple syrup production. We're talking just, a small amount just for my husband and I, because we don't use a lot. It's just something we have on occasion. So if I can make it rather than buy it and make the real stuff instead of buying the corn syrup stuff, which is not good for you, that probably is for the best. So we'll see how that works out. I use is stainless steel pan. Oh, okay. For everything. I do a lot of canning. Oh, yes. Well, I've got a stainless steel pot. I got several stainless steel pots, but a flat pan with more area surface will evaporate faster than a round pan. I mean, a round pot is fine for the final evaporation, but for the initial. If you can do the best, a higher surface area is better. It'll evaporate faster. So, and I got plenty of wood. So if I can, get the bricks set up, and I can just do it outside. Maybe I can talk my husband into monitoring it. I don't know if I can or not. We'll see. Um, so I can go around and get other things done. So I still have T-posts I need to get pulled out of the ground so that it's there. I'm still hoping that they're going to be able to do the fence by the end of February. Um, I will feel so much better if I can get this fence done out here, so that I can have my goats confined to one specific area during kidding time. So I will have to check back with him probably in a couple of weeks and see if there's any kind of idea on a time frame yet. So that will just be so nice. And I got to replace. Oh, you should see what Billy did to my gate. Oh, I had to put one of my gates up temporarily, so that because he busted through the gate that was there and the fence panel. So I have this lightweight, cheaper gate that was going to be for a pasture, and I put that up there, and he just headbutted it and rammed it. So I'm hoping I can bend it back. It still works, but I'll tell you what a pain he can be when he wants out. So I'm hoping that once I get that pen expanded, that he'll be a little bit better. And I definitely am changing the location of the gate. I had it by the barn, right at the barn, and I decided that that's not a good place for it, because they get a buildup of hay, and then the roof, it the ground is coming up to the roof, and it's too tight. So I need to get that out of there. I also need to take out the old hay rack that I put in there for him, because he butted it and busted it all to pieces. I got to figure out a better hay system for him, because right now I'm just using hay nets when he's in the buck barn, and it's fine. They've been working. I can hang them on the fence, but I would like to get a better system, something that he's not going to headbutt and destroy. So it's got to be pretty heavy duty. I might look into those heavy iron, made out of metal bars. I hate to have to buy something, but for this kind of situation, I may be better off buying something for him rather than building it, because I am limited as what I'm capable of building. Hey, if I knew how to weld, I'd weld something heavy duty for him, but I don't have that skill. So, let me see here. So far the plans are to do the sap and build the workshop shed, and hopefully in a couple of months we'll have the barn cleaned out. It would be nice if I could get some gravel into that floor and pack down real good. And it would be nice if I can get that hillside sculpted better and control the runoff. I need to find out about what needs to be done with a retaining wall. Now, it seems to me that if it's under 4 feet, that it's not as complicated as if it's above 4 feet. You still have to tie it into the hillside a bit, and you want to make sure that it will allow water seepage. You don't want it, sealed up so the water can't get through. You want the water to get through the wall. So I got to look into that, as to what exactly is involved in that, and is it something that I can do, or is it something that I'm going to have to hire somebody to do? And if I have to hire somebody to do it, how much would it cost? See, that's the hillside right behind the barn, just right out here between the barn and the cabin. Because I'm getting a lot of erosion, I'm getting a lot of mud right behind the barn, and that's not going to be good for the barn. The wood is going to deteriorate, so I need to get that cleared up, dried out, and just a better system in there. Get the hillside. If I can pull the hillside back a little bit, so that I that behind the barn will be like a travel way, where we can get a four wheeler or a tractor or something like that through there. Um, that would be great because right now it's not good. I got to get a lot of stuff moved out of the way. Um, Also looking to sell. See, this sounds like you need a French drain. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering. But I need to do some more research. Talk to people that know. Um, See, the thing is that the hillside, all the water goes downhill. Of course, you know that. Um, so we've got, yeah, I knew what you meant. um, so we've got the hill we got the hill behind the cabin. We got the hill between the cabin and the barn, and then we got the hill below the barn. Okay, so we got hill, hill, hill. Okay, so um, we have a little bit of erosion with the hill behind us, but not nearly as bad as the hill that's between the cabin and the barn. So that definitely needs to be dealt with. If I could get something to grow on the hill behind the cabin, um, that would pretty much eliminate any runoff that we have up there. But I haven't been able to get stuff to grow. I think I need to get those mats to put down on it. I had to put one in my backyard close to my house. Yeah. And it kind of depends. There's a lot involved in it. Like, um, see, I used to know people in civil engineering, but that was a lifetime ago. So, and I don't remember everything. Um, so I have to talk to people around here and see. But anyway, so that's one thing that's on my mind is that hillside that needs to be dealt with. Um, but I'm also looking at, okay, I need to get a larger chicken coop built. Did it myself. Used to put them in all the time doing construction. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe you're the one I need to talk to, huh? Experience, I tell you, that's worth a fortune. Um, see, um, but I also need that. There's enough of a slope. And it doesn't just need the French drain; it needs a retaining wall. It definitely needs a retaining wall, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be no higher than 4 feet. It might be only 3 feet, but that kind of depends. So, yeah, and I have to talk to you about the French drain. I know it's a certain kind of pipe, um, and there's I think there's some kind of a fabric that goes down. And I don't remember if it goes down under and over or what, because you don't want it to be filled with silt, as I recall. It's just for the water, and I think stone too, um, gravel. So yeah, definitely need to find out more about that. Um, so we're probably mainly talking. I'm wondering if how far, if it has to go the full length of the hillside or just right behind the barn. Um, but I definitely need to get that dried out. A lot of times you can find the piping at builder resupply if you have one. I'm not familiar with one. Um, I've seen pipes that are at 84 lumber and I'm trying to remember if I've seen them at Lowe's. I think I've seen them at Lowe's. Um, but I don't know of a builder resupply around here. The black pipe, yeah. And doesn't it have perforations in it? It's corrugated and it has perforations in it. I mean, I've got pieces of that lying around this property. Okay, that's what I thought. But um do you have to have a fabric underneath it, or does the fabric just go over top, or what? It's some kind of a silk fabric or something. I've seen them use. I just don't remember if it's then you put like fabric over it. Okay, you don't have to put it under it, just over it. Okay, and it lays in. You put it on a bed of gravel, right? So that it drains it has the water has someplace to go. And the thing is, how deep of gravel? Because we're talking clay, lovely clay, everybody's favorite when it comes to water. But if I can get it sloping down the gradual slope where there's grass growing. Of course, the worst part is your high traffic areas will not grow grass. So I've got to figure out what to do with the high traffic areas. Um, like at the gate going down into the pasture by the barn, and on the other side too, that hillside, because without having anything there to control the erosion, it's just going to wear away. You can let you can lay it, then build your retaining wall. Oh, okay. Okay. And I just got to make sure that it's sloping downhill, right? Which would make sense because you want the water to drain away. So, which the hill back there, I can get the pitch. It's just right now everything is so muddy, especially behind the barn. Behind the barn, I lay boards down. I grow weed. Okay. Okay. Weed or weeds as in yeah. We there's no shortage of weeds, that's for sure. Um but even the weeds won't grow in the high traffic areas. So I've noticed that the path going between the main barn to the goat barn, there ain't nothing growing there. And right around the chicken coop because it gets a lot of traffic. Yes. Okay. Um anyway, but that's really going to have to be addressed this year, I think, is the drainage situation. And of course I want to put a gate where the barn is, and between the barn and the hillside. I want there to be a gate there. Um, Now, the large gate I have at the run in, I want to put a half gate in there, or a smaller gate, and then put like a fence there for the goats. No weeds. They grow good here. They take over in no time. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. um, but they still don't. The weeds too don't like the high traffic areas. Um, but I don't know. It seems to me there must be something I can lay down. Maybe I just need to throw some gravel down. Maybe that's all I need to do. Um, but the finer type gravel that compacts better, I've got some of that down here. I probably need to get more. Um, but yeah, I can't really do anything with that until I know that the ground's going to stay thawed, because that's otherwise I'm not going to be able to get it done. So we're looking at more hand digging. I guess I better get the handles on my shovels, huh? Um, I've got new handles for my two shovels that had busted handles on them, but I need to grind out the rivets that's holding the remnants of the handle in, and then I can replace the handles. Because I've got the handles and I've got the shovel blades, but I got to get the two of them together. And I think I need, um, wonder if I can just get a bolt and a nut to put them together with, rather than having to put another rivet in there. It makes sense to use a bolt rather than a rivet. So once I'm pretty good with a spade shovel, but not all that great with Maddox, even though I was using that to dig a trench. But with a spade shovel, I'm pretty good. I think I can get it decent enough once I get my shovels put back together. You know, the other shovel I have right now, well, I have the square end shovel, and then I have a spade shovel that has the pointed end broken off, and that's good for shoveling gravel. You know, um, it's perfectly fine. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way of dealing with that, and then of course, like I said, a retaining wall needs to be put in. Um, Now I've got retaining walls down here that were built by the previous owner with stone from the property. Um, I need to replace my shovel handles also. Yeah, that's one of those things. You know, it gets added to your to do list, and you get to it eventually. I need to get to it sooner rather than later, though. I know I do, because the shovel's a pretty important tool. You know, I really do need it. Um, because there's so much I need to do and move and whatnot. Um, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do at the gates. I think they make special matting for that kind of thing, but you know, again, it's just money. Um, so I just got to figure out what's more important at what time, and you know, try and figure out if I really need to spend the money or not. This chair is not really the most comfortable. Um, the back is not. It's better than nothing, but still. So I'm shifting a lot. If I'm like working at the computer, you know, typing away or something like that, it's not so bad. But for just sitting in, just kind of chilling out, you know, it's not the best. But anyway, one of these days, maybe I'll get a replacement chair. But it works for now. Um, Matting is expensive. Yeah, yeah, and I know they make matting, but at the same time, it's just a decision that needs to be made, you know, because the gate that goes down by the barn, it gets the most wear, and it's getting really slippery and treacherous this time of year when with all the mud, because you can't grow anything there, and you got to have something to retain the hillside. I want to build up the slope of that hill. If I could take some of the dirt I clear away from this hill between the barn and the cabin, I can put it down on in there so that it's a more gradual hill and it's not quite as steep. Um, I really need somebody to come in and grade it for me. I think um, my neighbor would probably do it if I asked him, if he's able to, but I don't know how his health is. Um, he's got himself a new tractor with a cab, so it's heated and air conditioned. So I don't know, he might, um, if all I need is that hill graded, he might do that for me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What I need my husband to buy me a tractor. That's what I need. Um, if he would buy me a tractor with a front end loader, I can do a lot of stuff myself and faster. But it's convincing him that I do need it. He could get it if he wanted to. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Um, it's something I have to work on. You get my drift. Uh, so with everything else, My biggest push this year, I think, is going to be the chickens, I think, because we all know between the with the bird flu, supposed bird flu. My husband was just telling me earlier today that they slaughtered 40 million laying hens this year because of suspected bird flu. We'll have to pray God convinces him you need a tractor. Yes, please do so. Please do so. I keep asking, what are you going to do? Take it with you when you die? I mean, what good is it then? So anyway, that's another story. So yeah, with the all these hens being slaughtered for no good reason, and the eggs being sky high, and even if they're available, like I was saying earlier, I know that they had them at the Dollar General today, but they did not have the price posted. So you can get them, but how much are you going to pay for them? So I don't like to see anybody going hungry. I've given my eggs away before. My store had no eggs. I've been hearing a lot of places having no eggs. I said, we go shopping this week and I'll look. But you figure, like I was telling somebody this week, they've killed all these birds. Okay. It takes 21 days for an egg to hatch. Okay. 21 days. So not quite a month, but almost a month. And then you've got another, depending on the breed, anywhere from 4 to 6 months before it starts laying. Okay. So you're talking 5 to 7 months. And I don't know when they started slaughtering the birds, but it's going to be a slow increase. I mean, first of all, you got to have the eggs, fertilized eggs, to be able to hatch them out. Okay. And then you got to wait for them to reach maturity before you can't rush this, And so that's why usually when I am managing my chicken flock properly, which was not done this year, you plan for when your older hens are going to start slowing down on the production. You have to bring in the new blood, okay, the young pullets. And thankfully I've got, I'm pretty sure I have 4 young pullets that have just started to lay. So I've got those, but I should have had more than that this year, and I didn't. And the reason was because of the uncertainty of the feed prices, the hay prices. There's just so much unknown so I held off. I didn't fire up the incubator this year or last year. I just let the chickens do whatever they did. And so I had 2 hens successfully hatch out a brood each. Okay, I had a couple others that kind of, made an attempt, but I didn't bother trying to make sure that they were in a secure area. Okay. If they found a good spot, okay, I did the best I could to protect them, but it's like I just let them do whatever they were going to do. Okay. But this year I'm going to try and put a push on getting a larger coop set up so I can manage my birds better. So that, we can plan better. So we don't have, people around me won't have to suffer. Okay. By not having eggs, or even hens. Like I will hopefully be selling, some pullets, by the end of the summer. I'm hoping, because I'll hatch out as much as I can. And the only problem with that, of course, is I have to feed these birds. But hopefully, the extras will be sold, and then I'll have some that are staying here for egg production, and I'll have eggs for people. What is really scary is while I was in the hospital, I noticed the hospitals are depleted of a lot of things. Yeah, I know. I cannot explain the confusion that was in there. I have heard, you know, like I feel for anybody that's got to depend on the medical stuff right now. I've got um, a cousin whose husband. Oh man, you can remember him in your prayers too. His name is Rick. He was scheduled for back surgery for early February, and he had a CT scan done, and they found a mass on his lungs. Funny how it was not there 3 months ago when he had a CT scan, but it was there this time. And she said it was a huge mass. And it's like, okay, that doesn't sound right. You know, and by the way, he is not, if you get my drift. Okay. Um, so I don't know why it would be so fast. And I don't know. I don't remember if he was a smoker or not. I don't remember. Um, so, but it's like she is super stressed out because she has to make all these appointments for him now to find out. Okay, no, he's not. He definitely is not. Unless they snuck it on him because he was in the hospital. But no, I don't know. And neither is his wife. And she's a nurse, by the way. Okay, a practicing nurse, and she's not, and she will not. She flat out refuses. So they are saying that those that are vaccinated are shedding onto the unvax. Yeah, I've heard that. I'm just not sure. She works in a medical environment, but she's not. Okay. Um, so whether or not she's getting anything from anybody, I don't know. But he's not. He's not out in public. Okay. From what I understand, he's retired after their hospital visit. I believe it. Oh yeah, because things are crazy. I mean, you see people dropping dead, um, or having major heart issues, and if they survive, that's a miracle. The athletes, we've seen reports of anybody in front of the camera, um, actors, um, news people, just and all these people, they had to be in order to do their job. Okay, and these people are killing over. I've heard of that happening in the cockpit. Um, so, and what country was it? Oh, there was a country. I'm thinking Switzerland, but don't quote me on that. I cannot explain the craziness, the confusion. My son said, even mom, there's more going on than what we see even now. Um, yeah, I would be asking my cousin about that, but she's kind of got other things on her mind at the moment, so I'm not going to bother her about that. But I know that about 6 months ago, she was saying that the death rate had increased this year, um, and unexplained, unexpected deaths, and pretty much all the people where she works, including the patients, were vaccinated. I don't know. She's like I said, she's not, um, and I don't know how many of her coworkers are not, but I'm sure there's quite a few that are, and all of the patients are, pretty much all. Well, not all, okay, but a very high percentage. Okay, um, it's like I'm just for myself. I do vitamin D. Okay, and I have it's a low dose. Okay, it's 25 micrograms, which is 1,000 IUs. So that's just a low dose. And I don't even necessarily take that every day, but I do take it, try to remember a few times a week to take it at least. And that's because it's winter, okay, less sunlight. But I'm outside a lot, even when it's cold out, I'm outside. Not enjoying it much when it's cold, but I try to make sure I take that during the winter. And I do believe that that's probably prevented me from contracting anything that I shouldn't have contracted. Um, there's a lot of things that just are not available. The vaccinated are creating and manufacturing prions in their body. My granddaughter has had 2 miscarriages. Oh my. She's around her mother a lot, which is an intensive care nurse and has been vaxxed. Oh. But I mean, it's like, is it from that, or is it just she's got an issue with her system? I mean, I've known people that have had several miscarriages, even before there was COVID. Um, so I mean, it's like, how do you know? If it's that, or if it's just something wrong with her system. It's kind of hard to know. I mean, if there is an increase in percentages, an increase in a certain thing, above and beyond what is the norm, um, then that's something to get concerned about. Um, and we do know that there's been an increase in the death rate, and that's not from the CDC. That is from the life insurance companies, because they have to pay out. You have a lot of people that are in their prime working ages. Okay, the babies have died inside her first. She's had a she's had to deliver them dead. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's hard. Uh, was That is really hard. Uh, so something was definitely wrong. Something was has Have they given her any kind of an answer as to what's causing it? And if it is the what you suspect, would they even admit to it? You know, because they're telling people no, no, no. They said that she's perfectly normal. They don't know why. Do they do any kind of a lab test on the babies? Of course, that might be money that she would be responsible for, and she may not have it. So it's like a lot of. I hate to make this analogy, but um, people have a lot of um, unexplained deaths with their livestock. They'll have a necropsy done on the babies, the dead babies, to find out what caused it. They won't do autopsies on babies anymore. Really? Well, how do they expect to learn what's causing it? Man, that's weird. That's always how we've learned in the past what has caused this. By looking into, okay, what is this body showing us? What is there a deficiency in some area, whether it be mineral, vitamin, uh, other kind of issue going on? What is going on? I mean, I didn't even realize. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to do it on all babies, but um, if they know what's causing it, that's why they won't do them anymore, or they suspect it anyway. Man, part of me is glad I'm not in childbearing age anymore. This is a really, really bad time. And I mean, well, we know that it's signs of the times. That things were going to be getting bad, and there's going to be a large population decrease. It's scriptural. And my heart goes out to the people. It really does, because they were told that this would be of benefit, and they believed what they were being told. My daughter, who works the hospital, said a lot of girls lost their babies after the vax. I had heard that. It's like, and the thing is that they weren't letting that information out, and so people were still pushing for pregnant women to have the vax. And these poor women, they trusted what they were being told. And it's like, it's just heartbreaking. You do something in good faith that you're told will be a benefit for you and your unborn child. In good faith, you trust these people, and come to find out, you just killed your baby. And it's like, so heartbreaking. This is the first time in history that I can think of where they tell a pregnant woman to take something. It burns me up. Yeah, it's like, it's always been just the opposite. We don't know what this is going to do. Okay, you have to weigh the benefit against the possible cons. Okay, so I mean, this is, and of course, the young women, they don't know any better. They're being told, and they trust what they're being told by the doctors who are paid by the big companies. The medical schools are funded by the big companies. So, what do they know? They don't know. And it's sad. It's heartbreaking. I don't know. I pray that my son never gets it. He got the bug, so he's got that. And I said to him, I said, you don't need the other because you had that. So God gave you a blessing. You got it. You're good. You don't need to take anything more. And hopefully he will not bow to any kind of pressure. This is Agenda 2020. They want to depopulate the earth. Yeah, I know. But, we've read the end of the book, and we know who wins. And what is here on earth is just temporary. It's just a fleeting flick, a speck in time, and we know that things are going to get bad before they are fully corrected. I'd read about Agenda 2020 since I was a teen. I just thought it was a theory, a myth, but it is not. We're living it. Yeah, unfortunately. But like I said, this is just a fleeting moment. We know that God is in control, and he has laid out the plan, and he has told us these things must happen. But then in the end, he wins. And those who know him, they will go and be in glory with him for all eternity. So we just pray that as many people as possible see the light, and come to know him. Do the best we can. Because really, what else can we do? Be kind, and let people know that there is a better end than what they're being told. I'm ready when he calls. I hear you. Same here. I don't fear death because life is a pain. No. But really, I don't fear death. It's like God gave me this life, and I'll live it to the best of my ability. Um, I'm just praying that the people around me see his light. The nurses that I talk to in the hospital, they know what the Vex is doing, and they're scared. Yeah. The ones that have had it are scared. They see it and they're scared. It's like, what are you gonna? And it's like, I'm sure they were told, get it or you'd lose your job, right? I don't know. We don't talk about this amongst my family, unfortunately. But I have a sister who, she's not a medical person, but she works in the medical facility. I believe that's part of the confusion, the fear they are going. Yeah, I'm sure if they have eyes and they can see and they can deduce what's going on, I'm sure it is frightening. But my one sister, she got the J&J one shot. She has not been boosted. And she had to get the one, or she was going to lose her job. And then she got a different job, and she was granted an exemption. My daughter is scared. She did it to keep her job. I begged her not to. Yes. Is it worth it? Is your job worth your life? Is your job worth risking your life? And I feel for your daughter. She hasn't been boosted, has she? I mean, from what I understand, the more shots you get, the worse it is. Like, if I've known a few people that have gotten it, and they've still gotten the bug that it was supposed to prevent. They've still gotten the bug. And my brother, who is he's a nurse practitioner, and he got the Pfizer early on, and I don't know. He will not speak of it. He will not talk about those kinds of things at all, because in his mind, the medical profession is right. Magnets stick to my mother. Oh, really? I begged her not to get it. Now I'm saying her mentally decline. Yeah. And how old is your mother? Is she up there or not that old? My parents were both deceased beforehand. So, I wasn't worried about that. And I had a sister that was deceased beforehand, and then my other sister, she passed away during all this, but she never got it. She had other health issues that took her out. So my remaining siblings both have had but two different brands. She's 90, but she's in excellent shape, or was not on any medicine, and has never even had a cold. Then why? Why did she get it? Because she was talked into it, wasn't she? She was told, "Oh, it would help you, it would keep you from getting it." See, that's the worst part, is that, people were told, "Trust us. This is good. This will help you. This will save your life." And come to find out, it's not true. Was it, like I said, I was saying earlier, I think it's Switzerland that has deemed it to be dangerous. She was talked into it. Yeah. hmm As I believe many were. I know this one woman that, because she has other health issues, her doctor advised her it would be good for her to get it. And I have since seen her with multiple health issues, illnesses, including that bug that it was supposed to prevent. And it's like, and people say, "Well, okay, it won't stop you from getting it, but it won't be as bad." And you know what I say to that? Prove it. Because I know people who have had it and they had hardly any kind of symptoms. It wasn't that bad. No worse than a little cold. My doctor looked me in the face and said, "If I got COVID, I will be dead." I still did not get it. I asked God and heard no. Yeah. You know, and like I said, I know of people who got it. I know of older people who got it, and that it wasn't that bad for them. Okay, it really wasn't. And they recovered and no problems. Now, people with other health issues, okay, yeah, it was more risky for them. But at the same time, medical treatment or lack of treatment played a part in how they managed the disease, whether they recovered or they did not. Okay, because there was a lot of cases where they withheld treatment until you got to a certain point, instead of dealing with it early on. And then once you get to that certain point, it's almost too late. There are some that might still make it through, but yeah, it's like, people, it's not like it used to be. There was medicines proven to work against it. Is that, yes, exactly, multiple medicines, multiple, and they outlawed it. Yeah, there is blood on many people's hands. Yes, there is. I agree. And it's like, it's the innocent people that I feel sorry for. And there's like, okay, you got it. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything for you. You know, horse paste work. Yes, I've got plenty of that on hand. But yeah, I really do feel for the people who were coerced, forced to get something that they really did not want, and they are suffering because of it. Um, Not everybody appears to be suffering, but is it just a matter of time, or is their body able to handle it? You know, and I've heard that with every boost, with every additional one you get, it's your chances diminish on being healthy. So, it's just, I don't know. I'm waiting for that phone call about my brother, and it's sad. But I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't do anything. He already got it, and so it's out of my hand. I pray for him, but that's about it. It's in God's hands now, and some people will survive it, But I don't know who the lucky ones are that will survive it and who won't. I feel for the children. Yes, exactly, the ones who they don't even have a choice. Remember, because it was experimental. Yes, half got saline solution, half got the real thing. What gets me is the I have heard of mothers who lost their children and still say that they would still get have it given to their child. It's like, how can you not see? How can you not see? That's what took your child away from you. So I don't know. Well, I've been on here for over an hour anyway, and I got to get feed together and check hay, make sure they have enough. They are brainwashed. Yes, yeah, I hear you. Yep, they don't know that they don't know how to think for themselves. It's like if I'm asked about it, if somebody wants to give me this, it's like, why? I would ask why. If they say, so you don't get it, excuse me, people who have it have gotten it. And if they say, well, it's not as bad, and it's like, prove it. You can't prove that it is of benefit at all. The risks outweigh the benefits. It's like, I'll take my chances, thank you very much. So they won't even tell you what is in it. Yeah, I know. No, that's hush hush. I think that's starting to come out though. um, there's a lot of things brewing out there, and I just like, wait and see how things develop. In the meantime, I'm living my life here. I'm doing what I can. you know um I say there's I can't do a lot, but maybe I can provide eggs for someone, and that may make the difference between them surviving or dying or starving. Okay. um so long as God gives me the ability to do so, that's what I'll do. It seems like such a small thing. Here's a dozen eggs, but it's something I can do. I can't. There's not a whole lot more I can do, but I can say, here's a dozen eggs. So anyway, all right, I gotta go. Um, been on here for over an hour, and I don't know. Don't count on a regular live stream. I just happen to have the time, and you know, I didn't really feel like going out and messing around in the mud. So I will talk to y'all later. It's been a great conversation. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one.